We're going to be talking about similar triangles. To figure out if triangles are similar, first we need to discuss a couple things. We said that if I have a similar triangle or any kind of shape, their angle measures have to be the same. All three of them angle measures have to be the same. In order to be similar, however, one triangle can be smaller or one shape can be smaller, right? The other shape is going to be bigger. So the shapes are just different sizes. However, the angles have to be congruent, which means the same. Let's see, I have two triangles in here, and at this point they only have one angle that they have in common, right? Then this one is 80 and then here is 71. Well, I'm not quite sure if they're similar, because what if x is 71, right? Then I will know that this is 80 because the sum of all the angle is 180, correct? Let's see what I mean. Let's figure out what x is. So I know that if I add all these three angles up, they should give me 180 degrees. So let's do that. 28 plus 80 plus the x should give me 180 degrees. Combine your like terms, right? So 28 plus 80 is 108 plus x equals 180. To find x, what do I have to do? I have to subtract 180 from both sides. 108 from both sides, correct? These two will cancel. I still have my x. I still have the equal sign, right? And 180 minus 108 is equal to what? 72 degrees. So x is 72. I don't see 72 in this problem. I'll tell you this, if this was 72, I know this would have to be 80 because there will be similar triangles, right? As long as two of their angles measure the same, the third one will be identical because it's a triangle, and no matter what, it has to give me 180 degrees. I do not have two angles that measure the same, so these two triangles are not similar. Let's look at these two. I have a 90 in here, 90 in there. I have 66 here. I don't see 66 in this angle. I do see, however, 24. So I know that if x is 24, if this is 24, indeed, these two triangles will be similar, right? They will be similar because if this is 24, this one has to be 66, right? Because the sum of them will give me 180. Let's figure out what x is. So I have 66 plus 90 plus the x is 180, right? Now guys, I've been telling you this. Please do not be afraid of using a calculator, right? I will use it periodically so you can see that it is sometimes better to use it because we don't want to make little careless mistakes, right? So let's combine like terms. 66 plus 90 is 156 plus x equals 180. To solve for the x, I know I have to subtract 156 from both sides. 180 minus 156 is 24. So x equals 24 degrees. So this angle in here is 24. This triangle has angles 66, 24, and 90. This one has 90, 24, and I know the y has to be 66 because it has to give me 180 degrees. So indeed, these two triangles are similar. Let's look at a little bit of word problem in here if we have it. Okay, so I have two triangles in here, And they want to know what is the distance x across the river. They want to know what is this distance. Well, first they tell me that I have two triangles. I want to know if they're similar. Well, I can tell you right now, I already can tell they are, because they have both 90 degrees, right? And I know they have, as long as they have at least two angles that are identical, they're similar, right? And they do. And you know where? Look at this angle and that angle. What kind of angle are those? They are vertical angles. And what do we know about vertical angles? The ones that give me the little butterfly, right? They touch at the vertex. They're identical. They have the same measure. So they have two angles that are similar, right? They have the same congruent, They have two angles that are congruent, so I know these two triangles are similar. What I want you to pay attention to.
Ms. Clay, please come to the front office. Ms. Clay, please come to the front office.
If I want to find a measure of a side, and we've done this before, I'm going to look at two sides that correspond to each other, and I'm going to use a proportion to solve for missing measure. As long as I have three numbers, if they are giving me three numbers, and I'm looking for the fourth number, right, in here, please use a proportion. Proportions is a wonderful tool. So I have two fractions, a proportions, right, that equal to each other. Now I have to look at my corresponding sides. I know that this side corresponds to that side. This one corresponds to that one. This is the same side, right? That's the same measure, same side. So let's see, I like to pick a pattern. I'm gonna go from top to bottom. If I pick a pattern top to bottom, top triangle to bottom triangle, I'm gonna stick with top to bottom on both sides of the equal sign. So top in here, this side that corresponds to that side, 60 to x. 60 to x is equal to top to bottom, 50 to 40. Alright, now if you have bigger number, these are easy numbers, but guys, please, again, do not be afraid to use a calculator. At this point, you know you're supposed to cross multiply the numbers that are across from each other and divide by the number that is across from your unknown. Cross multiply the two numbers across from each other, so 60 times 40, and then divide by the number across from your unknown. So 60 times 40, and divide that number by the number that is across from your unknown, and you would get that x equals 48. So what is the distance across the river? Is 48, and we're talking about feet. So x equals 48 feet. Proportions, wonderful tools.